You are probably going to get hit with ads right now, folks. We're
Yeah,
really sorry.
well, I'll keep an eye on it. No, it doesn't look like the ad is going to rerun. My mouse battery ran out at the same time as the stream crashing. I'm back now. No problem, Wendy. Oh, that's right. We're in the hold with this terrible dead thing. There we go. Content notes incoming. Appreciate it, Wendy. I gotta refresh my screen as well because it hasn't caught up. You're gonna hear me make that sound a lot, folks. Sorry. Content notes for Return of the Obra Dinn for folks. Mild sex and nudity, moderate violence and gore, moderate profanity, mild alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Moderate frightening and intense scenes and non-sexual nudity. I think we've got that twice. Characters die in a variety of unpleasant ways. These deaths are not seen in their entirety, but we hear audio that leads to the character's death and then explore a frozen scene showing the instant they died. These scenes can be gruesome, with blood and gore being frequent. And unfortunately, it looks like we are in fact going to have to run another ad.
Capitalism!
Again. So let me try to get us someplace a little more aesthetic.
If nothing else, so we don't all have to look at Undead Crab Butt.
Yeah, let's not stare at Undead Crab Butt.
Which is the name of my Rob Zombie cover band.
Really?
Yes.
Sure, okay. Is it still raining? Yeah, it started raining. So let's just go up on the deck for a moment while we're waiting for the ad break to run. Behold the Obra Dinn in all of its very tattered not-so-glory. Can I get up there?
Yeah, she's not doing so good.
No. The only time I've been able to go up there it was in that one flashback. So yeah, we are going to give it a couple of minutes while the ad break runs. So if you haven't had an opportunity to get yourself a beverage... I've seen this game finished twice and yet remember nothing. No spoilers will be given from this use for it. Excellent. The vibes are good. See that right there. That I am 90% certain.
That single persistent image
is, I believe, where the shell has wound up. Exactly. Let's go. I missed last week's stream and haven't seen it raining before. I'm amazed they've managed to do with such limited graphics. Yeah, Wendy, it just started raining, and I think that is our signal. My impression is that is the signal we've experienced everything we're going to experience, and we can take as much time as we want to do some more deduction, but that our next, narrative beat will be to depart the vessel. And but I'm suspicious of that. I think that's the shell in a boat somewhere. But the ad is running, so why don't we give it 2-3 minutes, everybody? It's all good. And yes, we do, for folks who are new to the stream, we have some emojis that are called Wiggle. One of them is animated, one of them is not, and that is what we recommend you use if you know something we don't know, so that you can show off your knowledge while those of us who are experiencing it for the first time are not spoiled. Remember the Demeter, the ship, and Dracula that the reader could only infer what happened down the novel? This game is built like that, but with answers, more Kraken, and presumably less vampire.
I found my copy of Lost Voyage of the Demeter yesterday.
The
movie.
The movie? Is that the one we watched?
Yeah.
I like that movie. It's very splattery. I remember everything, but we'll watch in silence. Feel free to chat, of course. Just please don't spoil us. That's all we ask. All right. So, we've got about a minute left on the ad break. Pretty sure the movie came out after this game. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, we got one more minute. I'm watching the moon. Are those clouds moving in front of it? Are they moving? They are! Look! The clouds are moving!
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah. We like to play indie games and we like to dig into back catalogs, so it's very common that people in the audience have enjoyed the game already. So, this way they can still chat along, but we can have our experience as well. All right, we have about 15 seconds left. Time for another sip of coffee. Right? Look at the clouds. They're moving. They're moving across the moon. It's very cool. I don't recall seeing that earlier. I wonder if it's a part of being in this storm condition, that's where you see the clouds moving. Pitch perfect afternoon, learning the finale song and watching it with a guy who arranged and led the music of the film. That is so cool. Have a wonderful time, Bonsai. Right. Okay, Obra Dinn, I think let us take it to the book. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the chapters and see what we have outstanding. So, loose cargo, 2 X's, 2 bodies. I don't remember how to flip. Oh, there we go. This guy was crushed by falling cargo. This unidentified stowaway was in a barrel who died. And then a bitter cold, 3 bodies. This guy got sick and died. This guy got sick and died. And then there was a cow that was slaughtered. I love that that's one of the bodies. Murder. Chapter 3. This passenger was knifed by the second mate. This Taiwanese, or as they call it in the game historically, Formosan, he was framed and executed for the murder. And then this guy gets shot because I think at this point the Formosans are trying to make a break for it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Then, oh yeah, see, here's the shell, the calling. So, and then there was the horrible attack in the boats of the mermaid looking for the shell. This guy was killed. This guy was killed. We think he's a steward.
Yeah, because we've been figuring out uniforms, and
yeah,
folks in those jackets all seem to be stewards.
It's the collars, those dark pointed collars seem to all be the stewards. This passenger was killed. This passenger was burned from opening the chest, and then they come back to the ship, and then the final remaining Formosan gets his revenge. Why was the final remaining Formosan on the vessel and didn't make a break for it with the others?
He looked like he was in a cell.
Well, also remember, she was tied up, so maybe made a break for it isn't accurate. Maybe they kidnapped them.
Yeah.
Maybe Nichols kidnapped them.
Yeah, this piece of shit.
Yeah, Nichols.
There's Edward Nichols, the living definition of this fucking guy.
And he's a second mate, so I think the officers have hats. And then 2 more people disappear during this chapter, but we don't know what happens to them. And then unholy captives. Yeah. Then shit gets real and terrible. Then the terrible beasts arrived, struck dead by the beast's tail. It says crushed by falling cargo. I'm still not sure if that's accurate or all right. Nichols and Beanie Gremlin are our primary villains. Agreed. Cook. Is there a cook's mate as well? I wonder if I can identify him based on the neck thing. The soul was struck by falling cargo. Yeah, he dropped. I don't know if crushed by falling cargo was right. It was. Club.
Somewhere there will be video of this, and I will find it.
What?
I just found out Jensen Ackles was in A Few Good Men on Broadway.
Oh, wow, nice. Spirit Spike struck? No, he wasn't struck and he wasn't torn apart. Let's just leave it at fallen cargo for now. So this is the captain's steward, and we think he was killed with a sword. Yeah, because then stuff is going on up here. Then Soldiers of the Sea. Look, that's the spikes from the horrible crab riders.
Yes. Yeah, this thing is.
That's correct. So if the text is typeset, that is the game has confirmed you are correct. If the text looks like temporary, like this little sticky note in handwriting, that means it's a supposition that hasn't been confirmed. We have some confirmed stuff. Then Soldiers of the Sea. We got a whole lot of bodies here. And then this guy he's up in the sails and he gets electrocuted. And then all of a sudden, this terrible, Once we have 3 correct deductions, it will confirm them. That's correct. We have some confirmed already. And then wait a minute. What language are you speaking? Hang on.
Is that French?
No. Maybe, but it's not him speaking. The X is his dialogue. It's already done for Nick. It's already done for Nick. Wait a minute. Hold on. Nicholas Botterill. Yeah. We already think he was killed. It's already done for Nick. Hang on a second. This is a topman. This is a topman. Are these all topmen? Hold on. With the exception of this officer, they're all standing together in the photos. Except for these 2. These 4 all appear to be topmen. And again, look, wide... kind of an assortment of colors. Never mind. Okay. Then we got a whole lot of other monster fighting going on. This unknown... It says I have a high degree of confidence to identify this, though. Okay, we'll come back to him. Part 5, page 63. We'll come back to him. More unknown souls. Shot with a gun by an... Yeah, this poor guy gets shot because on the other side of a wall. A hideous monster perished simultaneously with a brave but unfortunate foe. Yeah, this guy got underneath him and fired the gun, which was incredible. And then the doom. See all those single X's? Those seem to be people we've identified with people that we don't know the fates of. Is the time to identify people based on limited info? Is it time to identify people based on limited info about their ethnicity? We may be at that point. We may be making suppositions at this point. So here's 2 seamen having a fight. And then the artist was crushed by a terrible beast, the poor guy. This guy was crushed by a cannon. Oh no. Okay, thanks, Wendy. Hopefully that's better now. This is another one that says we have a high degree of confidence. Given his hat, it makes me think he might be the gunner or the gunner's mate. Blasted with a cannon by a terrible beast is such a terrible sentence. I know, right? Okay, thanks. So, 63 and 79. More cannon crushing. This poor guy got caught in an explosion. This guy was torn apart. And then she was crushed by the rigging. This is the captain's wife, Abigail. And I believe sister of the first mate, if I remember correctly. And then we have a bunch of people who just disappear. And then I don't know what chapter 8 the bargain is. It says we'll find out when we return the book. But there's a lot of stuff here, including... See, this part right here in the lazarette being circled makes me think that that is something that I can still do.
Do you want to go take a run at it?
That's the next location I'm going to go investigate. There was the possibility of identifying some people from the bunk numbers. We've done all of that I believe we can so far. And then here we have more people trying to make a break for it. Here's the bosun. Okay. First mate Stewart was killed by a sword by an unknown attacker, by somebody we don't know. Last one move quick. Unknown soul was shot with a gun by a passenger. Yeah, these are more passengers trying to make a break for it, remember? You've got enough. Captain can't be trusted. Clubbed. That's another officer for sure. I bet that's maybe... Is that maybe the first mate? It would make sense about why he's there, or the gunner. Oh, no, hold on. Tell Peter's mother I tried my best to pull him back to save him. Tell yourself, Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit. Okay, so we've got some more clues here. Yeah, identifying officers is a good idea. Whoever this person is with, one of them is Scottish. He's with the first mate. Okay, we've got some hooks to come back to this. And these are the passengers, and they met fates that we don't know. I'm hoping, yeah, this is the surgeon's mate. Wait a minute. Hold on. Surgeon's mate. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit. So is this the surgeon himself? Maybe. Okay. Good. And then... Hang on. It's this one here. Oh, no, you're cut. Don't leave me is the body. We've identified them. Bear up, son. I'll stay with you. Tell Pete's mother I tried my best. Tell her yourself. And then he yells, Brennan, bring the kit. So whoever Brennan is not the surgeon, but is the third person in this scene, it seems, in addition to this body. So yeah, we'll come back to this one. I'm almost done with the flip through the book. And then the end, we've identified this is the first mate. He was shot by the captain. Here's freaking goblin guy.
This fucking guy.
He's killed. Where are they? Must be here someplace. They're at the bottom of the sea. That's a lie. They, plural? Open the door. Lest we break it down and take more than those shells. Plural. Plural. Shells, plural. Oh no.
Oh no.
Must be at the bottom of the sea. And then... Here's another guy getting attacked by the captain. That's all we know about him. And then... The captain was the last one to die, and he shot himself. And then these are all the ones that we've identified so far. Okay, so let's start... Well, the first thing I want to do... Guys, I'm going to flip through the book really fast, because I've got a theory about something. I'm looking for places where there's a blank page, but it's circled. And I think the only place we've had that so far is the lazarette. Because I think that what that implies to me is that there is an unidentified scene down there. Flip, 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 flip. That is correct. Okay, so let us go first to the lazarette. And let me take a look at the map of the boat. Deck plans. All right. The lazarette is in the very bottom. Don't judge me. In the back. Okay, so all the way down. Okay. In the back. This is the back. I know that's not the technical term. Too bad. Okay, down, down, and then we have to go down one more time. And then here. This no. That's a monster. Okay, maybe back is the wrong direction. Well, that's... Well, let's look at the map. Da-da. It'll show me where I am. Nope, I'm in the wrong side. Fine. Bosun. I am in the bosun's store. And then I need to go to the lazarette. Okay. This is the poor stowaway. They stored his barrel with his dead body in it and didn't even know.
So sad. This poor guy.
I know. Very weird that there was no somehow mysterious dog survivor. Agreed. Right. Ooh. I got another. We've already identified that
partial individual.
Now this locked space, this is the lazarette. And if you would look in one of the windows, you can see one of the stores is open. But I wonder if there's another way to get in there. I don't see anything else. But the book is implying that there's something to do in here. Yeah, look, there's a spike in the wall from an attack. Is the beginning of the thing a Dracula reference? How am I gonna get in there? Well, what's... Oh. I think we've already identified him.
Isn't this dude who was spined to the wall?
Yeah. Can I get down from up above, maybe? Yeah, everything can be a Dracula reference if you try hard enough. Doesn't see... Yeah, see, there's the body of the poor guy who just got shot through the wall. It doesn't seem like we have any way into the lazarette right now. This is the powder store, isn't it? Or I think this is the surgeon's room. These are passenger, quote, cabins, unquote. How am I gonna get into the lazarette? This was the cow head, right? We identified this from when the cow was dispatched. Again, powder store. And then this is the carpenter's place, if I remember correctly. What's this? Yeah, this is the powder store. Yeah, it is the Demeter in Scavenger's Reign. God, I loved that. That was so good. How do I get into the lazarette? Could you investigate for me if it's even possible?
It's got to be possible.
There's no way. This thing is locked. I'm wondering if maybe there is a flashback where it's not locked. Yeah, see, it's open. So it's implied there's something has happened in there.
Bargain is chapter 8 in the plot of Return of the Obra Dinn and takes place in the lazarette. It can only be accessed after the chief engineer has concluded their investigation and left the Obra Dinn with all 58 solvable fates solved.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're not going to get those answers for a while until I can figure out the rest of this. Yeek. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go back on deck and get to work. There's no reason to do all this deduction down here. in the hold. I'm pretty sure we've been through all the cabins now as well. Yeah, I think we're going to have to, unfortunately, start making racial stereotype deductions and go from there. All right, to the book. I know one miter wiggle that won't. Rather effective playthrough if you want to hear it. Yep, that's fine. Thanks for asking. Well, by racial stereotype, I mean we're being led to presume that the individual with tattoos is from a specific geographical location. You get an achievement if you blame all the deaths on the captain. That's hilarious. So, this person with their tattoos, for example, there is a presumption, I think there's a Papua New Guinean, right? That we are making an assumption about. Alright. And we've identified all 4 of the Formosans. Though he's not identified. It's interesting. Oh, it's because we haven't identified Beanie Guy who shot him.
Who shot him, yeah.
Interesting, okay. Yeah, this is one of our main bad guys. So, alright, so if we start doing the whole, let's identify people based on their hats. Captain, first mate, so second mate. So that means this person. Yeah, identify. If we can identify Beanie Guy, it is going to serve. It is going to identify a lot. Edward Bastard Nichols, exactly. And then we know that the unknown. Well, hang on. We know that this is an unknown officer, right? There we go. And he only has a degree of confidence. See.
Do we have any capacity to work out who he is by working out who he isn't? Because we seem to have most of the other officers identified. I think
this. Who has top hats? Here, this is another officer. This is the surgeon, we think. And then we think all of these people are the stewards. So I'm going to say this is an unknown steward. Unknown steward. Unknown steward, unknown steward. We think this is again an unknown steward. This is the surgeon's mate. So is this the surgeon? No, we've identified him elsewhere. So he's another one of the mates.
Yeah.
Bosun's mate, maybe? We don't know. He's an unknown officer. This guy's not an officer. This, again, look at all these ties. Unknown officers, unknown officers. These two folks, didn't we see him in the gunner store? Let's go to his memories. Now he's got 12 memories. Show memories on the deck map. Alright. Let's see where we've seen him. This is where he dies. This is him fighting with the captives. Where is the gunner's store? Here. We've seen him in this memory. Oh, my computer fell asleep. Sorry. Be back. Gunmen seem to wear hats. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Agreed. Come on now. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out how do we replay memories.
On it.
Arrows indicate the flow of time. Oh, okay. So like this is the ending. It shows you it starts here, it goes here, and then it ends here.
According to the subreddit, you just go back to the body, pop the watch, and do it all over again.
Okay. So... wrong buttons. Sorry. So what we want to do is we want to go to... If this is the surgeon, we don't know where he dies, do we?
No. We have no indication he has yet in the timeline.
Show memories on deck map. Okay. In the Doom, he's the one who went to help her. And then we have a memory here with another injured person. But there's no X that indicates his body. Okay, so we don't know what happened to him.
Not yet.
And
what's really interesting about that is if we're moving backwards in time and he's not dead yet, did he get off the boat?
Well, yeah, that's what's... I mean, there's a whole lot of people missing, right? It seems like the surgeon was alive for the most of the story. Yeah, let's go back. Sorry, the navigation can sometimes be a little difficult. So if this is the surgeon, there's no cause of death for him. Let's look at his memories. This is his first memory. If I gave him some laudanum, we'll see. I mean, right? Okay, fine. So if that's the surgeon, great. But it means we're not going to be able to identify him because we don't have his cause of death, right? So let's try and concentrate on the people we can identify. The number one person we need to identify is Beanie Gremlin because he's in a lot of memories. Perished, yeah.
We unlock Beanie Gremlin. We unlock a lot of other people. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sansa. Alright, so let's go look at his corpse again. He's in here, isn't he? He's one of the last ones alive. Isn't this his beanie?
Where are they? Must be in here someplace.
They're at the bottom of the sea.
That's a lie.
Yep. That's the captain knifing Beanie Goblin. I love the cheery music. Like, yep, you wanted this guy dead, didn't you? And then here's somebody coming down around the back. Way to go, Captain. I considered both voices gravelly, to be honest. Okay. That doesn't tell us much about who he is. It says 2 others were present, one of which was the captain. And one of which was this guy. Where else was this guy seen? All over the place. So he fought on the Doom. He died here. He was involved with the escape, and then he went downstairs. He never went below decks, so he's not a gunner, is he? Well, no, here he is on the gun deck. Wait! He was down here when all this crap was going off. Yeah, Beanie Guy, I think, has the most memories. Wait. Is he one of the top men? It's hard to tell. Oh, we got an ad break about to run. Sorry, everybody. Let's take a break here for a couple minutes. And we'll keep trying to...
You want a refill?
Puzzle our way through this. I'd love it if you would warm up my coffee. That would be great. Can we infer who would be in possession of the whatever at that point? An interesting question. Let's see. Right. Ad break, folks. Take yourself a stretch. Wendy, your neighborhood cat climbing your scaffolding is the most adorable thing ever. When we come back to stream on Wednesday nights, I might want to make that fan art. Wendy's neighborhood kittens. Oh, for folks who can hear me, I have to tell you. So I was just randomly on the computer the other day, and I'm like, look, I should start looking up where the local cat rescue organizations are because Twiglet needs a sibling, right? And I did, and I found immediately a 3-month-old white deaf kitten. So, of course, I instantly fire off an application, and he's already found a home, and that's wonderful. But for a while there, we were thinking about, oh gosh, what if Twiglet officially had a mini-me? This kitten was purely white with all pink everything, except he was bright chromial, and his name was Lemieux. He was so cute. But he now has a good home, so he will not be coming to live with Twiglet. But that's cool. It's all good. How are we going to go about this? I know they're talking about who has the thing and who doesn't have the thing, but it's the shell, right? They're talking about the shell. Yeah, Twiglet is going to hopefully get a sibling this year because he needs one. He 100% needs one. So these are more of the crew who are stopping the Famosans from interceding, right? We've identified Nars. Does Twiglet need a kitten to teach? Well, we want to get a kitten because we want Twiglet to not feel challenged. Like, you know, he's the oldest sibling. He's the established cat in the house. Maybe the gunmen are all wearing these very ridiculous low-cut crossed over tops. Like, this might be a gunman, and this might be a gunman, and this might be a gunman. And then this is Nathan Peters, and we don't know when it's generally a good idea to have more than one cat that socialize together. But I was told Mrs. Hudson was one of those who needs to be only a cat in the house and absolutely hates other cats. I know, Twiglet's almost 2. He'll be 2 in a couple months. I think Twiglet needs a buddy because he grew up with a brother and because there's not enough attention in the world for him, honestly. And I think the idea of him having someone else to play with would make him very happy. Exactly. He can be a big brother. He's all grown up. He's fully grown. He's 4¼ kilos now. Big guy. This is one of the Russians because these are the 3 Russians who are always playing cards, and one of them died of illness. We just don't know which one died of illness and not of illness. No, there's that scene where there are the 2 guys who die and there are Russians playing cards. Where was it? It's the cold, right? This scene. See? Stop your cheating, worry about yourself, and then this person is saying, Saeed, get up, drink something. But 22 people were present at that scene. It's a lot. Right? Because there's all these people who were are all these people who were asleep down below? Wait a minute. Can we assume the Beanie Goblin is a seaman, like the rest of these people on the firing line? He's a top. I want to. It is implied to me that these 2 people who are sitting in the rigging during this painting are both topmen. Well, we know he is. Hang on a second. Let's go to his memory. His where he perished, because there were a lot of people present with him, but this wasn't one of them. Interesting. So he's not a topman then? Oh, this is so confusing and difficult. Let's go back to his memories. He's present when Saeed dies from illness.
How we doing?
Not good. It's very difficult to try and kind of piece this all together. Oh, thank you. Take him to the carpenters.
Okay, who are we looking to identify? Are we still on Beanie Dick?
No. I'm kind of jumping around for anything I can find. Where's the location of the corpse? Let's go back to the cow corpse, because that one's easy to find. This is Beanie Goblin's demise. But his demise doesn't tell us much, other than he was one of the last people to die. Let's go back to the cow, because there's somebody there named Charlie, right? One more down. Here's the cow. Let's watch this memory again. This is the final part of A Bitter Cold.
Taken to the carpenter. Name wrapped and seat to last right.
Hit her here. One swing. Get through the skull in stone or brain. I'll cut her throat when you've done it.
Here?
Yeah. Come on before she kicks up. You all right there, sir?
Never been on a farm, Charlie?
Mind your shoes now.
Okay. One of those people was Irish. Okay, so this guy's throwing up. Never been on a farm, Charlie. So whoever this guy is that's throwing up, in the dark coat and dark hair, he doesn't have a bow tie. That's Charlie.
If we've got his first name, surely we just cross-reference it if we haven't identified it.
Exactly. So there's 4 people here, and then there's a bunch of people over here, including the guy with the monkey. And then that's a body, and then these other 2 people are dragging the body out. And in here, have a good one, Ducky, we have somebody who's cleaning up. But one guy present calls him Charlie, and another one calls him Sir, implying of equal rank. Ooh, like that. Have a good one, Ducky. All right. Okay. So, who's dark coat there? Dark coat and dark hair? This unidentified officer, isn't it? One of these 2. Charlie, bosun's mate. Which means this other person is another mate, maybe. But it's hard to tell which one. Hey, Rebecca, no worries. Yeah. We don't ever see anybody else with a monkey in the photos, do we?
No, we don't.
So where'd the monkey come from?
And where is the monkey now?
Is that the right guy? It's hard to tell. Where's the dialogue for this scene? Hit her here one swing. I'll cut her throat when you've done it. I want a better look at his outfit. Can't tell his collar. I wish you could just click on a guy and be like, who are you? I think it's this person? Judging by the angles, because he's in dark clothes, but none of the rest of these folks are like bald like he is. Right? He's a passenger and he's Irish. Let's go to the passengers. Too far. No. All we know him as an unknown passenger. Then it can't be him, can it? Well, it's who they've identified in the scene. Why would a passenger be involved in slaughtering the livestock? I'm exactly with you, Wendy. And it doesn't look right either. I can't get a good angle on who this guy might be. The only thing I can think of is maybe he's normally wearing a hat and he's not wearing a hat here. This person has one of those wraparound things going on. And he's the one who used... Look, he's got the axe. The other people in the scene are this one's dealing with the dead body at the end of the ship, right? Yeah.
No, man. It feels significant that we get a really, really, really clear look at his face. Like, one of the clearest looks at anyone's faces we get. But I'm not sure how relevant that is right now.
I know, he's got a monkey.
And he got monkey.
But we don't see a monkey. It's him. It's the surgeon's mate. And he disappeared in this chapter. These are some of the people who made a break for it. Who's this? I'm really struggling with this. I feel like we need like
Let me pull up a walkthrough.
we need some kind of like breakthrough that's gonna help. There's a mechanic to have the game tell you where each body is on the pictures anyway, right? Yeah, I think that might be what we need to do is pick one person to go through all their memories. Maybe we start from the top. This is one of the... So let's start with this guy. He got crushed by falling cargo. And that's the only memory we have of him. Other than he seems to be playing cards with the rest of the Russians. And if I remember correctly, there are 3 Russians. Right? Yeah, there are 3 Russians. One of them got killed by falling cargo. And 2 of them are playing cards when Saeed is killed. Hello, Rebecca's host. We're trying to identify how these sailors met their grisly fates. Well, we can make a supposition if we wanted to, which is that the topman Russian died because the other 2 were seamen and they're bunking together. They're bunking in the same place. Let's say it's this guy, which means that I'm going to get out of this scene because this isn't seeming to help us very much right now. That's the surgeon's mate. We think this is the surgeon, right? Okay. Hold on. Let's get out of here. Somewhat useful. So Saeed, this was his body here, right? So let's go to this scene. This is, right?
Well, same as the other fellow. Some lung disease. Consumption. It works with the cold. Spread? If so, we don't have it. They must have picked it up in the last case. I checked all hands just now.
The 2 promotions.
What are his chances? I gave him some more. We'll see.
Okay. These 2 we've identified. This is the guy kicking back in the chair. See? Look at the nose. All we know about him is that he's a passenger. All right, so let's go to the passengers list. But we've identified... He's an unknown passenger. That's all we know. Yeah, most of what we haven't identified are the crew, right? Don't know who this guy is. And all that are out here is a few more crew. Wait a minute. He's in a hat. This guy. It's this guy. He's in this scene. This guy and this guy. These are the two people who are moving the body. And they were with this guy who died.
Confirmed. If it has started raining, that means you found every corpse accessible to you.
Okay.
The task is now to solve the fates of all the crew you have. Go through the crew list, use the scenes or geolog sketches to identify them. Bookmarking people lets you find every scene they appear in, which is helpful for many, but not all of them. If you can't solve someone, go to the next one and come back to them later. Everyone has a difficulty indicator.
All right. So what that makes me want to do is go and find the easiest ones first. The ones that it says I have the highest degree of confidence in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the book and I'm going to look for anybody that I haven't identified that has like a 2 or a 1. Here's a 1. Yeah, but he's dependent on identifying Beanie Goblin. I have very high degree of confidence who he is, but I haven't identified Beanie Goblin yet. 3, 3, 3, 2. Okay. Well, let's see if there's any 1s. Page 49. You. It says I have a very high degree of confidence in you. Okay. So let's go through his memories. Bookmark memories. Here's where he is. We think he's the captain's steward. Yeah, because there's that reference to served with you for years and why have you gone crazy? Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward and never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself. These ungodly beasts carry a curse. Throw them back or doom us all. Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses. Come on. You fools. All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg? Isn't John the name of the captain? Where's the rest of his leg? You fools. Yeah, that's Swedish, right? That's why we identified him. Yeah. This is him, the captain's steward, who is Swedish. Which means that captain was a Robert. John, fourth mate? Maybe?
That's a good place to start.
Who else is in the... There's so many other people in this scene, though. Bosun... I'm 90% certain he's the gunner. Gunner or the purser, honestly. So this is the guy we're trying to... He's the captain's steward who's been pressed into this, but he missed. And he was killed... Maybe we've got The problem is until you get 3 of them right, it's not going to confirm for you. The Lincoln beard hat guy. Let's go back to the dialogue. Hold him down. Yeah, because the captain's present in this scene, isn't he? He is indeed. Alright, let's go back to this scene. That's the leg. Okay. Where is the leg? Is it up one or down one? Just take him to the... They said take him to the lazarette. Where's the rest of his leg? So down here... There's the leg. This is the scene I want.
Keep pressure here.
Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward had never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself.
Those ungodly beasts carry a curse. Throw them back or doom us all.
Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses.
Come on.
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
Hold on. The person who died is not the Swede.
No.
The person they took to the lazarette
Is the Swede.
Is the Swede, his steward. See, here's the steward. That's who they're dragging off. Because he attacked this guy, and that's now why he's dead. Because that's the captain. That's his steward.
Yeah, because the context of the dialogue reads as 20 years that my steward never a doubt on your sanity.
And then, but he's the one who says, "You fools."
Yes.
So he's the steward, and we can't get a where's the rest of his life, because remember, we're seeing the moment of this man's death.
Yeah.
Can we get around and see his face?
Yes.
Pointed chin, short hair, short beard, it looks like.
Prominent nose.
So you're not the captain's steward. You are some unknown... Yeah, you're unknown. Hold on. Was killed with a sword by the steward, the captain's steward, who's from Sweden. You can right click. I'm on a console, so I have no right click available to me, but thank you. Yeah, it's a very difficult game for people who struggle with faces, for sure. Okay, so he was killed by the captain's steward, but we don't know who he is. So that's okay, good. Fine. So now what I want to do is I want to try and identify who the captain's steward is in the rest of my theories. Is it this guy? With the nose and the ears?
Nose looks right. Ears look right.
Because my theory is these are all stewards, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's a rough angle. Let's try it. Not you. You. We think you are the captain's steward. it says we have a high degree of confidence of knowing who this person is. So let's keep up with this memories. I think he's a wonderful game developer, but he could use even for such a naturalistic art style to access a more varied character design. Exactly.
A whole lot of pointy noses, a whole lot of mustaches.
And I think he's trying to communicate groupings of people in clothing styles, but they're too similar.
Yeah.
And there's not like distinguishing like sashes or stripes or scarves or something that would help it be a little bit easier. All right, so let's go through this person's first memory. He was present at the hanging. All right. What's his next memory? He was present here. Right. Okay, so let's go back to... Oh. These are the people who are just watching. What's the memory right before this one? Hang on. We're looking at this person. He perished in chapter 4, right? Okay, and we bookmarked his memories. What does... Here he is previously. Moving the... He's part of the crew who's moving the... When Nichols comes back aboard. Right? Because that's what this is going on here. Shell, what shell? Wait. Look at the X indicating this is his dialogue. No. That's the person who's died here. Okay, never mind. So he's here. What is he doing in this scene? We'd have to go back and rewatch it. Where is it? It's up on the main deck. Okay, let's go back up on the main deck. That's him bringing some rope to tie him up with, it looks like. Oops, sorry folks. Ad break's running again. So, what scene is this again? That's where he dies. For that, he helps move the mermaids. So he's helping move the mermaids downstairs in part 2. And then, why does the captain's mate murder him? between part 3 and then part 4.
Thanks for joining us, Sarah.
We got an ad break running, sorry. I'm really starting to struggle with this.
I'll make a suggestion. Go back to the first memory and the first person we can't identify, which I think is Beanie Asshole. So go to the second person we can't identify and work that.
But the game says this is the person we have one of the highest degrees of confidence in identifying.
So let's, instead of looking at his arc across the game, let's look at his physical appearance. What notable physical appearance elements does he have? We're talking about
striped trousers.
Shirt.
He's got a wide white collar and striped trousers.
He's bald.
Right. I'm going to where he dies. Here. Yeah, see, it says it's a 1. Bald and light-colored clothing, right? But that doesn't tell us anything about his role. One of the bumper buttons will zoom in. If you use it, you'll see their portrait. Okay, let's try that. Oh! What the? Oh, interest. What? What? Is that only possible for corpses? Like, if I zoom in on the captain here. Oh my god. 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 Who are you?
Come here, dickhead. Alright.
He's one of the passengers. No, he's over here. Yeah, this is basically changing everything. Open the journal when you're zoomed in, and it'll go straight to their portrait, too. Oh my god.
Haven't we identified basically all the passengers?
So that means you, the captain's mate.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. We did know that. So this is the captain's steward. He's the one being dragged away. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So he's locked in.
Oh my god.
Great.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Right.
There were no instructions.
Yeah, that was never instructed. Okay, so who are you?
Striped shirt. Bald.
Okay.
Yep.
We didn't have that. We did not have that. That's the captain. Who's this? That's the bosun. Right.
All right. Good.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to like psychologically regroup now. So, we now know that this is the captain's steward, and he's responsible for the death of this guy, but we don't know anything about who this guy is.
And yet, for some reason, he's listed as one of the corpses it's easiest for us to identify.
Well, let's go through the rest of the memories now. All fine, John Vanderweer spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg? That's probably fine. All right, so let's go back to the earlier memories of this person. Yeah, he's present here. Mr. Wolf, when you are ready. Hold on.
But it would make no sense for him to be the person who gives the command for the firing squad because he's firing.
This is Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
Because he's the one ordering the people to...
That would be Christian Wolf, presumably.
Right. Yes, thank God! Yeah, see, I had to make a guess for him. Okay. I have not abandoned all hope. There we go. We're still making good progress now. But it didn't identify him as the killer because we don't know who he is yet. All right. That's fine. Now that I don't have to freaking psychically infer who all these people are, we're making some progress. All right. It's so much easier. Okay. There we go. Now, let's go back to the scene with the cow. Oh, you. You're the guy who got crushed by the cargo, right?
Leonid Volkov, yes.
Well, that's what we've guessed.
Wait! No!
Right. Now, who are you? I was correct. He's the topman Russian who gets crushed as the cargo.
Good.
Well, we've identified him. I don't know that he's a topman or not, but he's definitely Russian. Okay, fine. And then who's this? Okay, fine. And this is our guy here. Yep, fine. More people hauling barrels. That's... He dies of illness. Is this the other guy who dies of illness?
Syed.
I believe so. And then who's this? I'm just playing with a mechanic now because I can.
There was an assumption that Syed had picked something up at one of the warehouses.
Right.
If he's in proximity to the corpse, or maybe he ate some provisions from the barrel the corpse is in.
Okay, so what I'm trying to, identify are the locations here, right? Because that'll tell me his job. Oh, look. This is the topman. Because this whole group of people all together, we're all bunked together and are all loading in cargo together. He's just here as an observer. These people, so Beanie Goblin, these are all seamen. So is Beanie Goblin. He's an unknown. It's one of you. Which also means that you're not the topman. You're one of these two guys. I'm just gonna make a guess. I know. which means you, who are not in this scene, I need to go to the cargo list. You're, I think, that guy, and that means you're, I think, this guy. That's my guess. But you are also someone, it says you got shot by somebody. Go to your memories. Where did you die? You died here. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Where's the exit? Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. Okay, so I want to go up here now. Oh, I forgot about that. Ew. Ew. The body. It was up here, right? That you got shot. This is one of the Russians.
Last one. Move quick. You'll not take the last one.
Paul, look out. So yeah, you're one of the Russians. And who's this? This was Paul Lookout, right?
Yeah.
That's a steward. Paul Moss, right. But the unknown attacker we are currently guessing is this one of these Russians.
Pull up the identify dude in the photo image on the Russian, not on her.
Yeah. Ah! You know, there's one other guy down in this boat, isn't there? Yes, you. Who are you?
Isn't that the dude who ends up in prison?
I think so. Yeah, if I go to my,
Lemmy. Hey, little buddy.
Bubba, get down, please. I've identified him as Alexei right now. I don't know if that's accurate or not. So that means he... That's Paul, which means he was killed by Alexei. That's my current guess.
We gotta put more feathers on this thing.
Oh yeah, it's dying again. And that's Emily. You think. That's Emily Jackson. Her fate's not known. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Brute force it for sure.
I think what I want to do is If this is in fact Alexei, I want to go through his memories. Because that's where he gets shot, and there he is in the Doom. Wait, what's that? You did guess the lady's name. Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing we can try doing, is we can try swapping the names of the women passengers. She could be Emily. And she could be but I don't know if it immediately identifies if we're successful or...
Well, we don't... That's one of the interesting mechanics, isn't it? We could be one choice away from unlocking another 3.
Right.
We just won't know until we make that choice.
So these are a couple of people who are trying to escape. And he's a loyalist, and he kills this steward. And then a bunch of people come running. Who are you? That's Beanie Goblin. So, I'm kind of inferring... Is that Nichols?
No.
Who's that? Who was that? The first mate. So it's kind of implied that these people are running to help.
We just don't know who.
But we don't know who. We know that this group, these 4 people all tried to escape. Where's the ending of that chapter? Which chapter is this? It is his death. Killed with a sword. Oh, he's got 3 other memories. Fine. Doesn't the captain yell, let them go or something later? I think so. See, what I want to do is I want to go back to where those 2 sailors first died, because I'm going to try and use that as an excuse to lock in the Russians.
Okay, that seems like a good move.
And then... Because once I can lock in the Russians... It's, I want to say I have to go down... Yeah, don't even get me started on this whole... The fight. Because it's a mess. It's this corpse. Here.
Saya tutup. Aku terpilih.
Right, so these are the... Yeah. This is Sayusta. I see bunk 54. This is someone else, but their bunk number is X.
So pop him up on the photo.
Yeah, okay. of the Russians.
That's white. That's striped shirt guy. That's who we're trying to identify.
Who's this? Another one of the gunmen. All right. So it's these two Russians who are playing cards. And we know that because the other one's dead by now. He's the first death. Wait a minute. 51. Who are you? Oh. Yeah, he's the other one who's sick, isn't he? We already know who he is. And we know this guy got out of bunk 53. Okay. 53.
You know that lines up.
Okay. So we've identified him. That's good. So now I'm gonna try something really cheesy. I'm gonna switch the women's names back because if that's correct,
then that should be 3.
That's 3 people.
Thank you, Wendy.
Let's make you Emily, and let's make you Jane. Yeah. Oh well. We know who died. We know he got out of that bunk. This person's bunk number is X. That's so frustrating.
Is there an X on the roster?
What? Oh, no. Hold on. 58. Who are you?
Pull him up.
He doesn't come up because I can't see his face. 56, 55.
If William Wasim is 53, then we've got 55 and 56, both going off the same list.
This one woman was not identified then. Switch them again. Okay. So we gotta go to the sketch. So, met an unknown fate. Why is she... That's Abigail. We know that. I can switch him back, but I'm just guessing at this point. We already know who Abigail is. Hold on. No. Okay. We think this is Emily. No, this is the older woman. She's the younger woman, so that's why she's Miss Jane. This is Emily, because we know Emily shot that Russian in the escape.
Yeah.
It's right at the top here. Baba, sorry. Ooh, did I pass it? Yeah, the problem was with them is escaped. Hold on. Shot with a gun, right? By Emily. That's right. Killed with a sword by Alexei. We're assuming this is Alexei until we know otherwise. And then what I wanted... These people escaped, didn't they? Escaped isn't a cause of action.
I was under the impression they had all been killed and returned.
No. Not this boat. They're alive. But then I have to pick like an area. Sure, let's say they're alive in Europe.
we have a location for each chapter. So if we have the location that escape takes place in, we can lock in on that.
There's a map at the beginning. Yeah, but okay. My point is that those people escaped from the boat. See?
And my point is the chapter that they did it in will have a specific location. So if that location is on Alive In.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So we want to say what? Alive in an Atlantic island?
Are the Azores there? Because that seemed to be what was on the map at the top.
Sure. Let's say they're alive on the Azores. Right, because if we go to the map, this is the escape.
And the Azores or Madeira are the two nearest locations from that point.
Yeah, so Azores makes the most sense. Obviously, that's not correct. More people. I'm trying to find people whose faces are exposed so that I can zoom in on them and identify them. Well, okay, I mean, I can guess they're alive on an Atlantic. They're alive in an Atlantic island.
Let's try that, and then let's maybe take a look somewhere else. Because if we're resorting to just button flicking,
yeah, exactly,
that's going to get quite frustrating.
What I'm trying to do is see if there's any of these people in their numbered bunks who I can get faces on so that I can identify them. But it's not identifying them, which is very frustrating. Aww! Somebody with a tattoo of Mom!
Aww.
37.
Pull up the roster, see whether we've got them, him. Presumably.
It doesn't it won't zoom in and identify them. It's just these two Russians and this other person playing cards. Mutiny related folks, there's 5 of them. Okay, well, I think we're good here. We need to look up a guy with a woman's tattoo. Well, that's going to be hard to identify, given...
We can only pull up the portrait if we have faces, yeah?
Seems to be the case.
Okay.
Do we see anybody with a... Let's look up for tattoos, folks. Anybody seeing tattoos?
On forearms. What bunk was he in? Number 37?
39.
39. Who's listed as 39 on the roster? Because we worked off the assumption William...
Great idea.
We worked off the assumption William was in his bunk. And that bunk goes to the roster, so...
Bunk 39, they've lined up so far, is a topman from China. Guy on the very left has his guns out. This isn't a magnifying glass, unfortunately. Well, we'll just keep our eyes peeled for tattoos now. Alright. So, everybody else's suggestion is go and investigate the mutiny. Alright, so... what do we mean by mutiny? Do we mean the very last death where the captain kills Beanie Goblin and a couple of people? Hold on. We have more disappearances. Okay, so... when a guy lost an arm. I remember when a guy lost an arm. Vaguely. But let's do one thing at a time. Three, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2. Yeah, see, again, whole lot of heck if we know. And somebody did eavesdropping. That's right. We already identified him. What's all this, you damn fool, right? Can't be trusted. Here we go. Where does this take place? Mate's quarters on the gun deck. Okay. Mate's quarters on the gun deck. Over here, right? In here. This guy. Oh, this is the escape part 1 of 6. Okay. This is where it starts, right?
Put me down. Let go.
Easy now. You're in a bad way.
It's the squid. Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
That. The beast is dead.
He's German.
How did you kill it?
We didn't. It left with the storm. Captain came up from the hold. Said he chased it off. You should rest.
A curse like that does not live for nothing.
Right, so he's German.
You're going to pull him up on the photo?
Yep. This is the bosun. Come on.
Alfred
Right.
Klesto. Yep.
Yeah. And he... Frenchman was torn apart. Okay. Previously, which Frenchman was torn apart during the Doom, right? This is the bargain. She died. Okay. Who was torn apart? An explosion, a loose cannon, crush. The Sprat, the artist?
But that's written in, so we know it's
Yeah.
not.
Spiked, decapitated, spiked, speared, topman. Yeah. Hang on. Where's my Frenchman? And this is the bosun, right?
Yeah.
He's talking about his bosun's mate, my Frenchman.
Charles Minor.
They said he was torn apart. So his cause of death needs to be torn apart by the beast, right?
Yeah.
And then who else is here? Who are you? You're an officer. You're an officer, okay. Lincoln guy with hat. Guy over by the guns. Lincoln guy with hat. Guy with the guns. So these two officers are present here in this scene. Okay. And this is the bosun dying. Alright. Who else is around
Given
here?
the similarity in uniform, if you wanted to take a punt at it, one of the guy who does not have a hat is wearing basically the same uniform as Nichols. So could he be the third mate?
This one?
Yeah, the rank below Nichols. Martin Parrott.
I know. Yeah, I know we're at time, everybody. This is a good place for us to pick it up last time. Is this the guy who threw up on his shoes when they slaughtered the cow?
Looks similar.
Then he's the fourth mate. Remember? Because he says, "What's the matter?" No, he said, "What's the matter, Charlie? Never seen a farm before."
Yeah.
Well, let's guess he's Martin. And let's guess this is... Because his hat's different.
Yep, we're at the looking at shoes stage. Shoes and pants.
That's my guess.
Let's go with it. We have a butcher on board, and he's Irish.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull the roster back up real quick. Butcher, Emil O'Farrell, Ireland. That's the guy who's killing the cow.
Right. Do we remember what that guy looked like?
No.
But we can go back to that scene now and do so. Yeah, I don't think he's a mate either, honestly. I'm going to leave you as an unidentified officer.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, folks. I thought I'd hit the snooze for the last ad. Let's give it a couple minutes. We're getting there. We discovered this whole Zoom mechanic thing. It helps a lot. Oh, yeah, we're going to wrap it up here shortly. Don't worry. I'm just going to wait for the ad to end so that we can say goodbye to everybody. going to try one more thing, though. I might try swapping around the Russians and see if I get lucky. Cousins. Because the idea of coming whole length of the country to end in another small town that is a magnet for supernatural is hysterical.
I love that.
Okay. And who are you? That's the first mate. And who are you? Whoever this other guy is. Pretty much. So then these two guys start to conspire, and this is the first mate who hears them, right?
Yep.
All right, we're getting there. We made some progress. We can keep making some progress.
This feels like we have about 5 or 6 lined up, and they're all just going to click into place all of a sudden.
Once we can identify both, we can identify the female passengers, we can identify the Russians, we can identify the conspirators. I think we can identify the Irish butcher.
Yeah.
When we come back. Yeah, we've got good places to start. Oh, is he playing in his paper cave?
He is. Kid loves the cave.
All right, everybody. I think we're in a good place to pick it back up next time. This is the first mate. And I would think he's going to overhear these two people be conspirators now that the bosun, has died. Where's my Frenchman, he says. He makes...
Yeah, who we know as Charles Minor.
Right. Who he identified as torn apart, but yeah. I'm going to do one more. I might... No, we're all good. You're giving me stink eye. Okay, we're done.
If you need to do one more before you step away for a
all I'm
fortnight,
going to try doing is switching around the women again. But I can't do that. I can do that from here, yeah. Nah, we don't know. I'm not gonna start guessing. I'm gonna.
At that point, it's just a DDoS attack, basically.
Right.
You know?
I don't want to do that. The mystery is very compelling. That is correct. So we'll leave it here, folks, and then we'll pick it up, and we'll identify more of the conspiracy. Ooh, what? Right there's that bizarre hanging leg.
Yeah.
Because this is where the conspiracy fight happens, isn't it? These couple of people get killed. Can we go in these rooms? Bunks and storage. Bunks and storage. That's the first mate's room, and then bunks and storage. I know. We'll leave it here. Ooh, what's this do?
Couch cushions, the game.
Right. It's called Blueprints, and I've got 120 hours in it, yes. And I'm going to go play some more of it after this. But let us log out here and talk about what's going on next. So, we will not be streaming on Wednesday this week, because I will be at the hospital. And then I'm pretty sure I'm going to edit Full-Lid before I go, so that should still go live on Friday.
Yep.
And then we will be back next Sunday to pick up what's happened with this conspiracy, to try and identify some more people and to keep chipping away at it until, because, like, like the fights with all of the gunmen and stuff. Oh, we're gonna have to go through every single memory all over again.
Shoes and pants.
It's all gonna be shoes and pants to try and identify these people. Thank you very much, folks. First procedure last week went on. All I've got to show for it is some cramps and a bruise on my hand. And then the next bigger procedure is on day. And then I'm on medical leave for a couple of weeks to rest. And unfortunately, it's making me want to rest. It's very rude. I hear it. I made a whole list of things I want to do. So make sure
most of
they count properly so you don't get 2 oxy tablets within 10 minutes. Okay. I don't think that'll happen with me. I'm hoping. This isn't even a full anesthesia. This is just sedation. So that's fine. I think that's everything. Thank you very much for joining us on CSI The High Seas as we continue to identify people by their pants and shoes. I wonder if there's somewhere where we can get like just a list of all of the dialogue, and well, unfortunately, listening to it helps too much. So we're going to have to go back through all the memories.
Because of the accents, exactly.
Exactly. The Irish butcher. I want to go identify the Irish butcher. Anyway, we'll do it next time. We'll start. Let me go to the cow. Let's go to the cow and look at it.
Go do it now. Go do it now.
Go to the cow. Go to the cow. Go to the cow. We'll start here next time. We'll identify the cow again and the Irish butcher, and hopefully that'll unlock 3 more people. Right. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I've been Marguerite.
I've been Alistair.
And this has been CSI. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Oops, wrong button.